What is up, everybody? Welcome to another live Pin the Gas podcast on this beautiful Friday afternoon. You guys done see me one time earlier, right? And listen, ladies and gentlemen, it's an absolute honor to finally get down with my buddy Rick. How do I say your last name, Rick?
Podless.
Podless. Okay.
Podlas.
Yeah, I know. I didn't, dude.
Hold
Listen.
on.
I'm not a good speller, and sometimes I have a rough time pronunciation.
It used to be Podlasky.
Okay,
They shortened it.
I love it, dude. I love it. But yeah, listen, me and you've been trying to sit down and work this out for a hot minute now. First time we try to do this, obviously the internet went no good, but it happens like that sometimes. But anyway,
my trailer didn't have internet.
Yeah, dude, listen, we are here right now, and that's all that matters, that we're gonna have a proper mega wheelie good time. And on top of that, I can't wait to see you at Daytona, right? It's gonna be to me that's full circle. I can't wait. Yeah, man. So listen, before we get started, everybody, as you guys know, the routine, man, this episode is sponsored by Next Level Financial. Take control of your financial future. Get your complimentary financial analysis today by Seth Starnes. Rick, I know you know Seth Starnes, right? He also has Next Level Suspension. He's an absolute legend. You know, and it's some people, listen, he knows what it takes to buy tires and travel and do all this, right? And that's part of the whole Next Level Financials, to help keep you guys out there on the track buying tires and making it to all the races. So listen, get in touch with him. It's painless. It's easy. It's absolutely amazing what he does. Use them to your advantage. Also, if you need suspension, obviously Next Level Suspension, right? So he knock out two things with one bird there. And as always, bro, I know you're an envy, and I love Darwin. I've had Darwin on my podcast. I love to see him at every Moto America event. We're always hugs and laughs and all that good stuff. I know. He told me.
Good guy.
And he's absolutely amazing. His products are amazing too, you know. And I tell everybody, don't buy an off the rack suit because it's not going to fit you correctly. I'm a Bison ambassador, so of course, go to bisontrack.com, get your full custom suit.
They got good stuff too.
Listen, this is my main point, Rick. It's 2025. All those off the rack shelf suits, they don't fit you correctly. When you have a suit that don't fit you correctly, it causes all kinds of issues on the track. Trust me, you don't need that in your headspace as you're trying to ride, right? And get the best out of it. Worry about, I'm getting arm pumped because it's too tight here. It's too loose here, and it's choking me as I'm going down the straight. You know, listen, it's 2025, people. Love yourself. Treat yourself. Bisontrack.com. Let's fucking go, right? Yeah, let's go. So, listen, Rick, we got a lot to talk about within this hour. So, let's just jump right into it. Tell us how you actually got started into motorcycles, and obviously the whole pocket bike scene. I remember coming up, I started seeing pocket bikes come around. They wasn't available hardly anywhere, right? I guess you had to know somebody that knew somebody where you can get one. But yeah, man, tell us how you got into it and where the whole pocket bike thing started for you.
I'll tell you real quick. I was a big time skateboarder and surfer all the way up to about 2005. And about my last trip from Costa Rica, I didn't want to surf at Florida anymore, you know, after I was surfing 10 to 15 foot waves. And I also surfed competitively back in the 80s. And in 85 and 86, I was almost a pro surfer, top 30 surfers in Florida. So, and I'll step off of that. We started seeing, I was 40 years old, 2005. And I always liked motorcycles, but I grew up overseas, military brat, and my dad retired in 79, and I never really rode motorcycles. So me at 40 years old, start seeing these little motorcycles, the China ones, on all the street corners in our hoods for sale for a couple $100. So I bought one, then got one for my son. Then my cousin bought one for his cousin. And then I bought one for my ex-girlfriend's son. And then we started racing in parking lots. And one of my other buddies that started riding with us goes, man, I found a website called speedcreep.com. And these guys are racing pocket bikes. So pocket bikes were already being raced throughout the USA in the late 90s. There was European sponsorship here and everything. And we'll get back and I'll tell you what happened to the European sponsorship. Because I was there through a lot of it, all the way to where it basically just died out. But we went to our first race with a great league. It was SEPRA, Southeast Pocket Bike Racing Association, ran by some good people. And they put a lot of money into it and a lot of money out of their pockets to rent the tracks. The first track that I raced at was Stark, Florida. And I had a hopped up Chinese bike and I was racing against the European Bladas. And there was like 20 of us on the grid. And I crashed one time and I still came in like 7th place, my very first race. And I never stopped racing. I started racing at 40 years old.
Love it. I love it, man. I've been a huge fan of pocket bikes. I did the same thing. I owned one time. It was a, Chinese knockoff. I ended up buying from a buddy because he bought it, rode it a couple times, wrecked it, let it sit, had to pull the carb, clean it, yada yada yada. It was, dude. I had a lot of fun on it. One of my buddy's kids was really into bikes, and so I did basically the same thing. I was just like, "Here you go, Merry Christmas, Happy Birthday," and he about shit himself when I did it. He had no idea, right? It was just my way of paying it forward. I didn't have hardly shit in this thing, right? And honestly, I was afraid I was going to break it in half with my big fat ass. I used to be fat as fuck, dude. Right. So no lie right here. I tell the story. I'll tell I was 270 pounds on a 40 waist. God damn it. I'm in a 30.
It'll hold it. It'll hold that.
Right. I know, but dude, when it struggles, I'm on the struggle bus on that thing. But man, I'm glad that, I made somebody happy by paying it forward. Now that they got the Groms out there and the Z125s, I'm in the market. I'm definitely gonna buy one of those. And
yeah, you need to get one and come and hang out with us.
I'm going to
come to one of the SFL events and get some laps in.
Dude, listen, I need to sell my RC51. I got my RC51 for sale. I need to sell that thing because I want to invest in myself and more in this podcast. And I don't ride on the street a whole lot like I used to.
I don't.
And I just really don't have a whole lot of time, with a little Grom, at least I could, ride back and forth to work. It's easier on that than it is,
the grocery getter.
Yeah. And then I could throw on my suit, go down here to the freaking church parking lot and just tear it up. You know what I'm saying? Like, have fun, dude. That's what it's about. So if anybody wants to buy RC51, I got one for sale. But yeah.
You can post it up on any of my pages and advertise it.
I will, for sure. But so, you getting in after you bought the bikes for the cousins and the whole 9 yards, where did it go from there?
Okay. So anyways, so going through like 2005, 2006, 2007, I raced the Chinese pocket bikes for a little while. And then I finally started, getting some Bladas, the little 2.5 Bladas and the little Blada Elite 30, that had a little more speed. Closer to, they advertise a lot of them, 50-mile-an-hour pocket bike. That's a bunch of crap. The water cooled 50cc ones that are badass will do 50 miles an hour real quick, but you could gear them to get I had like little 4.2 horsepower motors, on the Bladas that would get up to, 45 mile an hour with the right gearing and stuff like that. And then, as I kept progressing, they got faster, and I got hurt a lot too. I got hurt worse racing pocket bikes than I ever have on big bikes. And I haven't raced big bikes that much. So, which is kind of funny because a lot of people probably laugh at me, like I'm getting older, my hips are going bad and I'm trying to ride my big bike more, it's, the world's spinning faster, time's running out. And now I want to start doing some more track days. And, I pit crewed for some of my friends and stuff like that, but to get back to the pocket bikes, that's a whole nother thing. We had me and my son, we had pocket bikes for every class. So I had a 2 horsepower pocket bike. I had a 4 horsepower pocket bike. I had a 15 horsepower pocket bike. Some of them I can race in a couple classes, race up against faster bikes. Same thing we do with SFL. You can race a slower bike against faster bikes. It's always fun, to do that, be a little bit underpowered and see what you can do. But, it seems like it was yesterday, but it was a long time ago. But I don't know, so anyways, up into 2008, talking about the European sponsorships and stuff like that. When the Chinese flooded the market with all their cheap imitations, a lot of the year, if you went into a pocket bike store, they used to have one out of Daytona with all the Bladas and stuff in it, for sale for $1,200, and then you could go buy a Chinese pocket bike for $250. Which one do you think the parents are going to buy?
$250 all day.
So they basically shut down the European sponsorships. They pulled out of the country. I've got still a couple pocket bikes in my garage were actually the first pocket bikes to ever come to America from Italy. The first BMSs, the first DMs, which I've inherited through some of the other races that got it from before me that were racing before me. Like in the late 90s, they had got those bikes. And when I switched from my Chinese to Euro bikes, I got them from these guys, and these guys were the first ones to get these bikes in the U.S. 2008, the economy blew up. They had us trained to pay $4 a gallon of gas. Nobody would travel anymore. Killed the race leagues. So SEPRA pretty much gave it up. I have all the flags for that league. They wanted me. I was so passionate about pocket bike racing. I've got some videos, and I've been on NBC The Spot. I've been on The Game, 740 The Game with Kevin Sutton at the iHeart Studios. We was on an episode of remember Dave Mordell, Recreation Nation. They got a mini moto episode. Me and my son are featured in that as well. It was a championship at Stark. I got divorced from my son's mother. He was always racing with me. Was with another girl and had a daughter with her, my little Julie racer. And she started pushing the pocket bikes around at the track, and now she's racing, and it slowed down. It slowed down after SEPRA went out, and after 08. And then there was another league that popped up, SEMRA. There was SEMRA, Southeast Mini Moto Association, and everybody was racing Thump Stars, 10-inch wheels, and pocket bikes, right? And then I seen my first, what they called the Supermoto back then, was when I seen my first YZ85 with 17-inch wheels and slicks on it. And it was like the coolest thing we ever seen. Before we ever seen slicks on 450s. Yeah. It was like, oh God, that thing was so cool, And so a lot of the older guys started selling their pocket bike. Like, man, I'm tired. You crash on a pocket bike, you turn into a wrecking ball. It's not like crashing on the big bikes. Yeah. Like, you get messed up, cracked ribs, all. Anyways, so from SEPRA, we went to SEMRA, right? And then there was another league, the Cairn compound. I was racing pocket bikes up there when that place was a brand new track. I loved it. And I met Josh Herron up there when he actually was racing a YSR. Mm-hmm. And they used to rent out carts at their house. So we had many, many pocket bike races up there. And then things started evolving a little bit. People were coming with the little pit bike Pitster Pros. A lot of Thump Stars. I called them Dump Stars. You're starting to see the YZ85s. There was no Groms or nothing like this back then at all. YSRs.
SSRs? Did they have any of those back? SSR?
Yes. Yep. And that's like a Pitster Pro. Yep. Those were all kind of the same things. And then we were still racing pocket bikes pretty good. But it was kind of a struggle after the economy broke, and I was the one that was promoting pocket bike racing. So I had a few things going on here and there. So we had SEMRA. SEMRA evolved into CAMRA. This great dude, Cam, was the one that took over the league for Josh Herron when Josh went to California, and he was running the league up there at the Herron compound called CAMRA. And they would allow me to have a pocket bike class, if I could get, 4 or 5 people to show up, on the grid, which it was really bad for a while. So it started picking back up a little bit, after like 2010. And I had a bike brought to me from Italy to race a 50cc CBM Chaos. I actually have the only one that's here in the USA. COVID killed the guy's business. And they brought me this bike from Italy to race. And, I'm one of the oldest guys racing back then. And I had fun on it. I put it on the podium. I got lots of podium finishes, but it took me a while to get used to starting in the back and working my way up, and then actually qualifying and getting up front and learning, hey, when you're in the front, doesn't matter if you look like a frog or not. You want to get out in front of everybody and just hammer it, And I wasn't always the fastest, but I could always get good hole shots. But that adrenaline from being scared and starting in the back, even on any kind of bike, any kind of race league. To learning, I can go faster than these, to getting in the front and knowing that when you get out there, you got to hold it as long as you can. And you can't be making mistakes, because the people behind you, that's what they're waiting for. So anyway, so there was SEPRA, SEMRA, CAMRA, and then we had WCPBA, West Coast Pocket Bike Racing Association, down in Immokalee, Florida. And we were racing KX65s. The first Groms started showing up, which were friends of mine that I brought out. And I still had a pocket bike class for kids and adults. And the last time that I raced pocket bikes was probably in like 2013. And I also did a 1 hour event with Michael Correa when we first started out together at Bushnell. We had a 1 hour endurance pocket bike race. And I believe that was the last time I raced pocket bikes in like 2013, 2014.
I love it. You just mentioned, Michael Correa. He's him and Juju and Grayson. They're absolute legends. How with that being said, real quick, how did you and Correa meet, and how did you get involved?
Correa came down from New Jersey, but I was we went through all those leagues, West Coast Pocket Bike Racing Association, and then I was they had 305 Motard in Miami, which was run by Augusto, he's awesome. And he said, get me some pocket bikes and we'll have a class, because I started going down to Opelika, Miami, and practicing at this cool track, Miami GP. Everybody said it was a shithole track. There's drains in the middle of it. Well, freaking hop over them, but it was a nasty little track, and it would make a man or, a tough woman out of you, whatever. But we had so much fun there, and it was like one of the first tracks in Miami, kart tracks anywhere, that started letting motorcycles on them. So we raced pocket bikes there, and I was struggling, and we were getting people, we were getting some people to show up, and then that turned it. So that was 305 Motard with Augusto, and then there was I want to say Southeast Supermoto. They let us have a class, if I could get 5-6 people to show up. And sometimes we couldn't, and they'd still let us race. And there was just maybe 3 of us, but we were still trying. But the thing was a lot of the older guys, after racing those, and then all the supermotos and all that stuff started coming out, they're like, man, why the hell am I trying to kill myself on this little thing looking like a frog when I can, and if you're having a bad day and the bike's not tuned right, you're ripping it, and the freaking, you want to pick up the thing and throw it. So, on a hot day, you're in your leathers, your sweat's running off your nose, and you're like, God dang, thing won't start.
Yep.
And then, a lot of the older guys, like me, unfortunately, it took me a lot longer to mature. Those guys would sell their pocket bikes, and they would buy an XR100 or something, got suspension and you got a kickstart, so it was YSRs, XR100s at Herons for a while. And in this whole meantime, I'm still racing up in Herons. I would race the Heron Frostbite Series and the Summer Series. And I'd also race with Augusto and SFL when they started merging together. So Correa, he came down from New Jersey, and he helped them guys, and he came down, and this guy, I've been on the track with his kid when he couldn't beat me. And then once he started beating me, I couldn't touch him anymore. But great guy. I don't know where he gets all the energy from. He is so awesome. But, after the economy and everything started coming back after 2008 and all that, up into 2015, I started racing an XR 100, and I raced an XR 100 for 6-7 years. And I tried to do some time on the pocket bikes, but it just kind of phased out, and then Correa kind of took over 305 Motard, and it became SFL. And I've been with them since the beginning, and I'm still here, and it's the greatest mini league around.
100%. I tell everybody that SFL Mini GP is absolutely, dude. I got them on my leather suit, my freaking, all my shirts, the whole nine. Yeah, I talk about them all the time. It's the best program.
I've seen and all the kids that you're seeing now in Moto America and stuff. I've been racing with all these little kids since they were. My daughter raced with a lot of them, but she's in college and stuff like that, and she rips. But hopefully, she's going to be at the race with me on the 15th and 16th. Down here at T4. So I got a bike for her at the house, but that's another thing. Just going to put her on an XR100 with a couple little mods so she can go out and, knock some elbows with some kids and knock some dust off. But I could put her on a 300 and she'll drag me all around the track, no problem.
I love it.
But I'm racing the 300.
You got the 100, girl. I got the 300. Let's go.
Well,
Yeah.
I got a YCF 190 that a good friend of
I
mine
see.
helped me out with, Dan Fang, and we just got the body work for it, and I've got some graphics getting designed for it, and I'll put her on that. And if she doesn't show up to the race, I'll race it. But it's going to be a nasty little bike. It's sitting in my kitchen right now.
I know. I've seen the pictures. I always, dude. Ever since I seen that the YFCs, I was like YCF. That's a badass bike. It's a bike.
I can't do the GP style on the like the ovals and all that stuff that they came out with now and everything. Step up from the pocket bikes. Like I just can't. I can do it on the 300 Ninja. And I'm not trying to get killed and go freaking 200 miles an hour. I'm just trying to ride, do some track days on the big bikes, and I've been racing. And now, so it's evolved from pocket bike racing through all these mini bikes, Groms, XR 100s, YSRs, and now we're putting 300s and 400s on the kart track. So I've seen it. I've been there since the beginning and seen to where it is now, and it's still going further. Like some of these people are coming out with big huevos and running 600s around the track, just sliding them everywhere. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'd be sliding right to the hospital.
Right, me too. Be like, no, I'm good. I'll stick with the little mini bikes myself. Right, the Groms. And so, speaking of the YCFs, man, how do you like it?
Huh?
How do you like the YCF?
The YCF, I've tested a couple of them. I haven't tested any with the motor that I got on this one. This one's going to be the baddest one, and just trying to make sure everything's ready and right before I put it on the track. And my daughter will probably race it. I'm fixing it up so she can race it, but it's still my bike, and I'm sure I'll race it too. But I've tested a couple of them, and I like the little the mini Tard feel, because I can't crunch myself on those little GP2s.
Yeah.
I can do it on the Ninja and lay on the tank and stuff, because I'm a lot lighter than I used to be. When I was racing pocket bikes, I was like almost 190, and now I'm almost 170.
Yeah.
So
big difference. Yeah, absolutely.
It feels a lot better. I can bend a little bit.
I can get in there. Yeah, dude, I like it. And it's got the Daytona 190 motor in it.
Yes, and it's got a 212 bolt-on kit and a bigger carb. And I don't really know a whole lot about the horizontal one cylinders. I haven't really messed with them too much. So it's going to be a learning experience, but I should be at every SFL race this season. That's my goal. And I'm going to race the SS 300, 400 class. And basically I use it as training, practice, and racing all at one.
Yeah.
And hopefully I get my daughter out there. Korea was nice enough to help me and my daughter out for the season, and she said, "Come on, you've been here for a long time," and I'm still trying to do it. I'm trying to get back into it. Past couple of years have been tough. I'm going to be 60 in April. My body hurts. Hips, got some problems with my hips, and when your kids aren't around you racing it. My son's in the Air Force. He's in Texas. He can't ride. He's like Special Forces of the Air Force, and he rips. You can put him on any bike, and he rips. You can put him on a 600, and he rips. And Julie, I can put her on just about any bike, and she'll get out there and she'll rip. You put me on any bike, and I'm slow as shit.
I've never claimed to be fast. I'm just in it to have a.
I'm just trying to have fun now.
That's
I'm
it.
trying to have fun.
That's it.
Yeah.
I'm like you. We don't bounce and roll like we used to. That's for damn sure.
Well,
right?
I did purchase some accident insurance this year for me and my daughter. So
probably smart play. You
thanks to Miguel Torino.
Yeah,
all right, buddy.
Dude, he's an absolute legend. I had him on too. I can't wait to. Is he going to be at Daytona? I need to text him and see if he's actually going to be out there on the Daytona 200.
No, he won't be. I don't think he's racing this year. He's got too much stuff going on. We've been talking about doing track days, and he's a good friend of mine. And he was sponsored with my daughter on the Motrack team pre-COVID, and he's a great guy. Me and him and a couple other guys just recently did the Separano Classic on the 300s, and we didn't do too bad. We were running in fourth. I think we got fourth place the first race, and the second race we were running in fourth, and the chain broke on me right when they put the green flag out. Chain came off the bike on me. All I had to do was come back around and get the checkered flag. So we had DNF. But those guys were cool enough to invite me, come and race their bike. And it was awesome. I had a great time. I couldn't walk for a week after that.
Yeah, Separano, he's amazing. All I'm going to say is stay tuned, people. stay tuned. Yeah, he's an amazing guy, and what he's doing with that whole.
A lot of good people in this sport.
It is, man. It is.
A lot of great
It's
people.
family is what it is. I call it our beautiful circus, but unlike any other circus in the world, our clowns got to pay to do this. We're not in it for free, right? It's
the thing that I respect about it the most, because I've been to the dark side a few times, and I want to say my race family's probably helped me a lot. I've had stuff that I've had to overcome, but when I was out there with my kids doing it, it was the greatest thing in the world. And now that they're not, they're growing up and doing their own thing, I watch all these other parents. And if you got parents that are willing to put the time into their kids, and their kids respect their parents, and the kids get good grades in school and stuff like that, it's not, you earn that. You earn it. You teach your kids morals, you teach your kids respect, you teach them to do good in school. My kids were always average kids in school. My son was average. My daughter's in college, so she's going for a bachelor's degree. She's always been really good with big numbers and stuff. But these kids, they work hard to if they want to do it, they work hard. They show their parents they're going to do good in school, and they want to earn it. They want to earn that brand new GP2. Yeah, Dad, the GP2 with all the fixings on it's just $10,000. I'll get straight A's.
Right. Just $10,000, Dad. You got it. Come on, let's go.
Got this. But those parents, I got like the highest respect for.
100%, man. Those, and I always say it, man. That's where it starts. That's where our sport first initially started. You give two people, two wheels, a frame, and an engine. Let's fucking race this thing, right? And then you get your kids involved, and that's the origins of all road racing on a motorcycle is parents and their kids, right? That's why obviously we got legends of the sport coming out of SFL Mini GP, Avery and Ella and Isaac and
Billy and all.
Bro, I can sit here for me and you can sit here for an hour talking about everybody coming out of SFL Mini, right?
All of them.
Yeah, all of them. It's such an amazing program they have.
Julian's overseas. Isaac's going to be over there, and Avery and all them. I'm going to be getting some selfies with all them kids.
One thing I will say about it, man, is don't never let Isaac borrow your phone, him or DeMario. I let him borrow my phone. And I go back to the hotel.
Bro, I was hanging out with all those guys at Jennings a few months ago.
Dude, they're awesome, right? But dude, so I go back to the hotel room and I finally I get out the shower, whatever. I'm laying there and go to bed. I'm flipping through all my photos on my phone. It was like some kind of cool photos I had to do my little social media post, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
And next thing I know, I come up to some pictures of DeMario and Isaac Woodworth making goofy faces to me in my phone. It was hilarious. So I texted him. I was like, bro, it was awesome.
I've got some too, and I haven't posted them.
They're awesome, dude.
They're a bunch of little fun. They're a bunch of little fun kids, man. Well, they're all adults now, but they're also athletes. They're also athletes. They know if they want to keep doing what they're doing,
they got to put in the work.
They need to be straight shooters. Yeah, because the game that they're in is no joke, and I got a lot of respect for that. Yeah,
nothing but respect.
Yeah, I race for fun and stuff. My competitive days are, I want to say they're behind me, but then when I get out there, I want to race hard. I have good days and I have bad days. But at this point in my life, like I want to start trying to give back to the sport, they're in the minis and stuff. And then I haven't done a lot of big bike stuff. And my goal this year is to do some track days on some different tracks that I've never been to. And a lot of people probably laugh at me. I started off racing pocket bikes at 40 years old, and I've been on my Ninja on a 300 on the track a few times at Jennings. I actually raced Jennings in the 250 Sportsman class back when FEMRA, which is Pan America, when they used to race at Jennings, they used to have races at Jennings. And they're developing so much out there, man. I hope that track gets to stay there.
Yeah, that's an issue that's been going on. The insurance is going up, and it's a big liability they see as far as motorcycles is this liability, yada yada yada.
I'll give you a perfect example. When we first started going to Bushnell, because we've been riding there since it was brand new, I paid $35 for a track day. So I'd bring both my kids. I'd pay for all three of us, no problem, hands down. Back then, I think Brett, and he's a great guy, and they've been great to us. I think they were paying like $3,000 to $5,000 a year for insurance. Now we pay $70 for a track day, and he's paying $15,000 a year for insurance. And then you see all these commercials on TV, Dan Newland, Morgan & Morgan, teaching you how to sue people so you can become rich. It's just the insurance thing is just, I wish somebody could put a stop to it.
Dude, I don't even get me started down this fucking rabbit hole, dude, with insurance.
Exactly. Yeah. It gets
biggest fucking scam, dude, in the world. Blah blah blah.
Legalized mafia. That's all it is. Legalized mafia.
Very simple. 110%. That and the whole pharmaceutical. But listen, this is a whole nother topic. But yes, that is one of the major issues we got going. I mean, it's not only affected SFL Mini GP, it's affected the Isle of Man TT. It's affected BSB, Moto America, track days. Now track days are more expensive because the organization's got to pay more money to rent the track and the insurance. And yeah, it's
ridiculous, and it's like, where does it stop? I mean, are they going to, it seems like they want to put people out of business and not want us to be able to do this stuff. It's weird. It doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense.
It don't. There's always a bigger deploy of, I don't know what the fuck the
conspiracy theorists.
Yeah, dude. It's again.
I just want to be able to ride.
Me too, and have fun. Let's just go.
I can't walk anymore and have fun. Yeah.
And dude, when I can't walk, I done told my wife and my son. She's like, I ain't gonna be able to help you on a bike when you can't walk. So I looked to my son. I was like, you can put me on this bike. God damn it! If I'm in a wheelchair, what are you gonna put me on this thing? He's like, what happens if you crash and die? I was like, hey, I went out the way I wanted to go out, right? Let's go. And me, I'm such a fucking fanatic, dude, when it comes to motorcycles. The Isle of Man TT is my favorite race. I told my wife and my son, my mom and my dad, I said, dude, if I was to drop dead from a heart attack right now, burn me, put me on a plane, take me out there, spread my ashes. I don't give a shit where it's at the Isle of Man TT, and enjoy the rest of your life, right? Let's fucking go. So
exactly.
Yeah, I'm with it, man. It's funny you said that earlier too, man. As we get younger, Rick, this is what I call it. As we get younger, right? We notice that I didn't notice it till I had a kid. And I'm like, fuck, dude, time is just like, bro, it speeds up 10 times of what it used to be.
Listen, bro, listen. It seems to me like the world is spinning faster. Every year it gets faster and faster. So my circle of people, I've just like trimmed off so much fat. Just people, I used to make a bunch of bad decisions, hang out with people that, would drag me down.
Bad decisions.
And I don't blame anybody for any of my bad decisions. I'm responsible for my own decisions. And a lot of people know me, and I tell a lot of prison jokes and stuff like that. But listen, people, I've never been to prison, but I know how to do prison push-ups. But I've been to the school of hard knocks. I tell some people some cool real stories, but we're all dealt a different deck of cards. So it's what you do, how you play your cards out, and I've been fortunate enough to be able to stay in the motorcycle racing scene when there was times when I thought I wasn't going to do it anymore. And like you're saying, time's going by so quick. As I've gotten older, I try to stay out of jail, for at least a year at a time.
Right.
And I treat my body a lot more healthier. I do a lot of mountain biking. I'm up here in Tennessee doing some crazy stuff and drinking a lot of water. And I just don't do all the crazy stuff I used to do, and my body, it's, I think I'm 35, but my body doesn't feel like it, and that's a plain fact. So before I go to racing events now and stuff, I take it a lot more serious. I try to make sure I drink a lot of water, stay hydrated, don't drink alcohol. If I go out and drink alcohol for one night and wreck myself, it hurts. It hurts for a couple of days, and it's not like it used to be when I was 40 racing pocket bikes and we could drink all night long and then race pocket bikes the next day and get on the podium and thought we were rock stars.
No, you're right. It takes longer to recover, longer to get.
Yeah. So I try to be a lot lot healthier, and
it's
I ride my bike as much as I can. And I work for myself, and I've got a lot of people, that help me out. Like this guy up here in Tennessee, he's a good friend of mine. Worked for him for 10 years in Orlando, and he moved up here and calls me to come up here and make double the money up here than I do down in Florida.
Yeah.
But
and you do a bunch of tile and you do everything.
yeah, I build custom bathrooms.
I got you.
I've done a lot of stuff.
I love it.
I can do just about anything.
It's good.
If it gets really, really slow, I got a wig and some lipstick.
I got you, boy. Let's go, dude. I'm fucking awesome.
Yeah, you heard OBT in Orlando, right? I'll just go walk the trail.
Yeah, that's it. Straight up. I love it. Yeah, it's, you know what though? I find that it's you hardly see anybody or hear of anybody doing construction, the younger generation, or plumbing, it's or electrical. Seems like everybody wants to be a fucking YouTube star or fucking professional video game player or fucking
the kids nowadays have gotten indoctrinated to where if you just do stuff on your phone and keep your phone in your hand 24/7, and I'm guilty of it too. But they all think they're going to be superstars, and you got all these young kids doing crazy stuff. A lot of the young women and a lot of these young girls and stuff like that. I think they just get exploited, and it's just sad, the way the way that the world has evolved with the media and TikTok and all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's to me, it's such a fucking double-edged sword. Who would have thought
it is. You can do a positive thing with it, or you can do a negative thing.
Negative thing.
You use it to make money. You can use it to have fun. And kids actually victimize themselves using these platforms and stuff.
Devices,
too.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah. But that's a whole different world. I don't do any TikTok. I ain't on no Snapchat either. I got my Facebook and Instagram and I actually left my phone here at the house one day just to disconnect from my phone for a day.
That's something I need to do, bro. I just need to put my shit down and fucking just be whatever, right? I have no podcast scheduled that day, and I ain't got.
You got to disconnect from the phone and
dude, unplug from the Matrix, bitch, and just chill. Yeah, dude.
Stuff. Yep. Go ride a bicycle, work on something, take your wife to dinner or whatever.
Yeah,
do something with the kids and leave the phone at home.
I'm obviously a victim to the whole social media blah blah blah, because obviously the podcast, right? So
but that's part of your job.
But that's the positive side of it, right?
Yes.
The negative flip side of that for me is putting my phone down when I get a message at 9:30 at night. It's like, dude, you down for a quick chat real quick? And it's an upcoming podcast. I'm like, fuck yes, dude. I want to talk so bad. My wife said, don't you fucking answer that goddamn phone, So and
there's so many people that you want to talk to, but you don't possibly have all the time for it.
Yeah.
You don't have all the time possible to talk to all these people. And it's like, and that's what we get back to what we were talking about. The world going faster. It's like, we're running out of time. So just live your life good. Try to be healthy. Try to do good stuff for people. Try to be a good role model for the younger kids.
Keep that positive vibes and love.
Yeah, and I learn new stuff every day. I don't know everything.
I don't either. I don't want to know everything.
Yeah, I got people still teaching me how to ride big bikes. I'm not an expert on no big bikes, but I can ride a little bit. And I like to have fun.
I can too, right? Yeah, I'm with you on that. It's again, it's there's always positive, a yin to a yang with it, right? Especially nowadays within our beautiful circus, social media is a huge fucking part of riders getting. And I hate the word sponsorships, dude. I call them, instead of sponsorship, let's just use the word friendships. It's race-ships. Yeah. So it's they want to know how many fucking Instagram followers you got, Facebook, and all this other shit.
I started cutting people.
Yeah,
I went through my list, started looking at them. A lot of them deactivated. Some of them got on there. I don't know how. Maybe I was drinking too much, and a lot of them are posers, trolls. It's got a picture of a girl, but it's probably a dude.
Yeah, probably. Probably. You did. In this day and age, you never know.
So like you're saying, our worlds have gotten smaller, and you're just trying to stick to the important things.
Yeah, you find that you enjoy disconnecting and spending more time with the ones that matter the most. I'm not saying that any one of you guys and girls that are listening to this don't mean everything to me, because you do. Because again, like I just told Rick, without Rick coming on here and everybody, the 300 and something people friends that I've had come on here, I wouldn't be sitting here doing this. It's just a juggling act trying to, as we get younger in life, and Rick can agree to this, or he may not, I don't know. But as we get younger in life, the world goes faster, time goes warp speed. We find it more important to us to spend more quality time with the direct people that mean the most to us in our life, right?
Correct.
Because at the end of the day, it's like, we realize that even though my son's 12, and I say this all the time, I'm like, I'm 45, right? And he's like, dude, I got so long to be 40. It's going to be years. And I'm like, you're right. It's going to be years, but it's going to go by this fucking quick. And you're going to realize you got this long, right? So make it the best you can make it. Be the best version of yourself every day. It's easier said than done. I get it. I struggle with it. I absolutely had to change my mindset. I had to change the way I think. I had to change the way I approach situations. Everybody's got their own way of doing things. Everybody's got their own personal demons and whatever you want to call them that everybody battles with, right? Some are better at talking about it. Some keep them stuffed down inside. My point being is, listen, be happy, love everybody, and put the positive energy, enjoy the suck, right? So meaning that there's days that Rick gets up, he's like, fuck, I don't want to do this shit. Same thing with me. But when we're in that suck, I'm like, dude, this is only going to last but so long. Time's literally this long, right? So let me enjoy this the best that I can. And
my son says it, being in the military, he says, embrace the suck.
Embrace the suck. You got to, because, listen, anything we buy in life, I don't give a shit what it is, a leather suit, whatever, it comes with what? A fucking manual. When you're born, your kids are born, you're born, you don't come with a manual. You learn as you go and progress through life. And so it's all big learning stage and curve. What is up?
I got the new Coca-Cola.
What is that? What flavor is that?
Orange,
I don't drink soda.
Orange cream.
Okay.
Look, dude, I listen.
I use that to clean my battery off.
Bro.
It's the new flavor of Coca-Cola. Orange.
Oh, that's cool. I'm going to have to try it.
Yeah, orange cream. Dude, you're
I'll
funny
have to
you
try
say
that with
that.
some rum.
Facts, right? But for me, Rick, it's got to be clear. The dark, I don't do good with dark.
Yeah, I try to stay away from sodas.
Dude, you'll find me butt naked running around the freaking neighborhood, bro. So everybody knows I'm not a soda drinker. I don't never drink soda. I take maybe 2 or 3 sips a year. Am I lying, Rossi?
Try it. It's good. It's like a dream.
Well, I don't drink much soda either, but I actually have me.
Bro, this with rum, crushing it.
You want to try it with it?
I ain't got no rum.
You want to try it with what?
I don't have rum.
Why?
Go fix your pop-up.
I don't have any because I got to go to the liquor store and get some.
When?
I'll be right over.
Right, dude.
I'll
bro,
say something tomorrow, but don't put a lot.
How far are you for me?
That much.
It don't be long. I'm hungry.
I got you back. I done told Rick, but before we started this, I was like, bro, I can't be on here too long.
Hey, it's all good. Like, listen,
dude, yeah. Good. So I love that. I love that. My son comes up in here and he talks live on the podcast, and people see him because at the end of the day, we are real people. Yes, babe. I fed
Fiona eat.
Fiona ate all her food, but the dry food, and Charlie tore her shit up.
Okay.
So yeah, they good. Yeah, I love that, the fact that my son comes in here and dude, because we're real people. Rick, you're a real person. I'm a real person. I take my podcast serious, but it's not too serious. I do it for fun and to grow the sport, right? Get back to
it.
it.
I try to click on them, and I can't even get to them every day, but it's awesome that you have the energy to do that and the time to interview, everybody about every different aspect of racing and every racer and their perspective of their racing careers and everything. And, it's awesome to have people out there like you doing this.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
I'm going to try to give back this year to the mini league. I don't know how many more years I'm going to race minis, but I'm hoping another 10 years at least.
Let's go. Let's fucking go, Rick.
Yeah. I mean, it just depends on, I had a lot of things going on this year. I got accident insurance. I've got health insurance. I haven't had insurance in years. and I got to get my hips looked at. You know, they hurt, but I stretch and I ride my bike, and I can get on the bike. Once I get on the bike and I'm riding, and I, you know, usually right about when the race ends is usually I'm getting the fastest. You know, I'm on the fastest lap.
I know that's right. Once the body warms up,
Right,
I
but
get a
hey,
little bit more
I was running my
flexible.
fastest lap when I came in last place, so it was all good.
Listen, you know, I tell people at the end of the day, you know, life is short. Have fun. That's what it's about. We're not here for a long time, but we're here for a good time. You know, take it how you want to
Ain't
take
here
it.
for a long time. We're here for a good time. Yeah.
We're here for a good time, man. You know,
Don't take your
and
life for granted, man, and try to enjoy
don't.
it.
Yeah, dude, don't stress about. You know, one of the biggest things for me, Rick, was it was hard for me to not be in control of the uncontrollable. And I think everybody goes through that, right? It's like you feel, I don't know, man.
I look at it as always expect the unexpected.
Yeah.
Hey, somebody's knocking on the front door. Come in. Come in. They're out back. Come on in. They're out back. I'm up here doing a podcast. Oh, shoot.
Rick said, I'll take those right here.
Right here. No, they're okay. Thank you, honey. I'm sorry.
I love it.
Yeah. What I do like about Tennessee is everybody's polite up here. And then when I go down to Orlando, everybody's mean mugging you. Like everybody's got to be tough.
Right. Dude, you should have
Hey,
asked me,
hey.
did you bring any rum?
Hey. She was delivering the pizzas.
You should have asked her if she brought any rum. Did you bring any rum too?
I might go sing karaoke later with these guys. We have a karaoke machine out back, and I've practiced a little bit.
Bro, I
call it croakioke.
I believe it or not, I used to be a shy motherfucker. I would not be doing this. There's no way in a million years I'd ever thought I'd be sitting here doing this, much less karaoke. I just I just decided I'm coming out of my shell and just let's fucking go, right? So yeah, I don't have an issue doing karaoke. Obviously, I don't have an issue being live on TV and all this other shit.
You're not shy. Hey,
I'm not shy.
Everybody that knows me knows I'm not shy either.
Yeah, I'm not shy,
anywhere
dude.
and
Let's
talk
do
to
it.
anybody.
Facts.
Whatever.
And I'll try anything once.
I'll
Just
learn
once,
their
I'll try
language.
anything once.
I'll figure it out.
Figure it out.
Overcome and adapt. Overcome and adapt to any situation you're presented with.
I try to as I get younger, I try to be more comfortable and uncomfortable, being comfortable being uncomfortable, if that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah. It's a way that I find myself for self-growth, and it helps me change my mindset, if that makes sense, right? Listen to us being adults.
I've had to change my mindset several times.
Yeah. Listen to us being this adult shit, man. When did this happen, dude? What? Oh, I love it.
Have you done any track days with the minis or anything like that?
Man, I haven't, dude. Honestly,
you have all your gear and everything?
Yeah, dude, I got my full suit. I got my leather custom suits right
here. You got all kinds of stuff. Okay, I didn't know if that was like Ryan Rawls. I got to mention Ryan Rawls. I didn't know if that was like some collection stuff you got going on back there. Or something
the only all the posters obviously are my collection. That's my full custom suit from Bison. I got the custom undersuits, blah blah blah.
Okay,
and then I got this right here is my man Eli Colby.
Eli, I just met him recently down at Jennings. I got to hang out with those guys. He's really cool.
He is.
All those kids that race the junior cup and all that stuff.
He's actually not racing motorcycle. Well, he's doing flat track racing now is what he's doing.
I seen that. Yep. And when I just seen him at Bushnell not too long ago, and he had a motocross bike and he was also practicing. Yeah. Well, we were at Bushnell.
Okay, I got you.
So I met him over there. He had a motocross bike, and I believe he had a road bike that he was, on the asphalt, and he was.
It's 400.
Well, Bushnell just opened a motocross track right next door.
Nice.
So I think it's two separate entities, but if you wanted the track with two bikes, your motocross bike and your little asphalt road bike, you can have the best of both worlds there in one day. But I don't do motocross. I'd probably end up in the hospital pretty quick. I suck at that stuff.
It's funny. Every motorcycle accident I've had on the racetrack, closed course, with street bikes. I've been fairly lucky. I haven't really broken too many stuff. Now, as far as motocross shit goes, yeah, I hurt
Get
myself
jacked
a
up.
lot more, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I'd have to be young to be doing that stuff. I'll do some trail riding. I like some trail riding, and I like to jump like about maybe 2 or 3 inches off the ground, and then I feel like I'm 2 foot.
right, dude. So
Did you see that? Yeah, your back wheel was still touching the ground.
Yeah, you're like,
Oh,
bullshit. I was at least 4 feet in the air. Like, okay, I caught a fish this goddamn big. It was this
Did you
big.
see me land on the
Shut
front
up.
wheel?
Right. You see that endo off that random bitch? Like Jeremy McGrath, let's go. Yeah, it's the small bikes to me are they're just fun, they're simple, they're easy.
Good training platforms, and even just
platforms.
overall for people that don't want to go over 100 miles an hour and they want to experience the car track. But I'll tell you, between the big bikes and the mini bike racing, a lot of hard work goes into racing these mini tracks and stuff. I mean, you got to work a lot harder.
Yeah.
Like a lot of times I'm like, I think I'd rather go to the big track because I just feel like I'm just floating. When I'm out at Jennings, I just feel like I'm just floating till, of course, the turn starts coming up on you. But like in the mini bikes, like I don't feel like I'm smooth like some of these kids. I just
dude. You like?
I feel like I'm just going, boom. Trying to throw myself around the track like a little wrecking ball.
Yeah, like with Juju, right, or Avery, or Eller, Isaac, any of them. It's it's all riding is also staying in shape, right? Because people don't realize that to people that watch racing or little mini bike racing, track days, whatever it is, they show up, they watch it like, oh, it can't be that difficult. Bitch, get your ass out there and push as hard as you can. I bet you can't do 3 laps at 100% if you're just getting into it, right? You gotta work your way up to it. You gotta constantly train. You do a lot of mountain bike.
I'll tell you a perfect example of that. When we were racing pocket bikes, there was guys that would come out to race pocket bikes that were racing 600s and stuff, going, oh, I race 600s. Pocket bike racing ain't going to be shit.
Yeah.
And they'd go out there and they'd race one race, get smoked, and they'd never show back up.
No.
I want to experience more big bike stuff this year. I've been doing the minis for so long. Like I said, it takes a lot of work, but I like racing different bikes. I've raced all kinds of minis. And to me, every time I go out to the track, whether I'm racing or just practicing, it's just practice, training, racing, all in one.
That's what it's about. And
I need to do more training because I usually show up on Sunday for the race and I missed the first practice and then I'm gritted in the bag. So next race, SFL, Korea, I'm going to be there on Saturday and I'll be there for the whole weekend.
I was supposed to actually
place your bets. They usually bet and say I'm not going to show up.
That's awesome. I got $5 saying he don't show. No, I'm just playing. That's hilarious. I'm gonna text
contact
right now.
Korea.
Yeah, dude. I got his number right here. I'm gonna call and be like, "Yo, check it out. I got $5."
Is Rick gonna show up Sunday or not?
Yeah, he ain't showing.
Mike's all confused now because I made it to the first race.
Right? He's like, "Wait a minute. And did I go back to the future? What's going on here?" I love it.
But like it went through my head over the past couple of years. I went through some tough times and made some bad decisions, and I was questioning whether I was going to keep racing or not. And at this point, I just got my new gear like 2 years ago or whatever, and I have never had a brand new custom leather suit made. I've always bought used stuff, and I've always got second hand me down stuff. I've never had really anything brand new except for the pocket bike that they brought me from Italy and my brand new suit. And I've got a little $1,500 track bike 300. And I live in a trailer and I got some tools and I'm a minimalist, man. I try not to live above my means. So
yeah, it's
I want to have money for racing and paying my bills.
That's it, and that's all we need, right? It's dude. I'm a big firm believer in keep it simple. Simple, you keep it. The more,
of course, being single like me, I mean, there's got to be a little part of that pie that's got to go to the female population. So,
100%. I'm not single. I'm married, and I still.
I wish. I admire all the people that have great relationships because that's been my curse. So I've never had a good relationship. So.
Yeah,
that's another story.
Dude, I feel you on that. Well, listen, bro, we're 54 minutes into this. I told you it was going to go by super quick. We are definitely going to sit down and do a part 2 because there's just so much more we got to do.
Let me thank a couple people real quick.
Yeah,
Just,
listen,
you know.
give me 1 second. I'm going to let you in the podcast. I'm going to let you give all your shout outs and all that. I just want to say, man, it's an honor to have you on here finally, Rick. It's an honor to be your friend in this beautiful short life that we share. And I can't wait to meet you at Daytona, my friend. We're going to have an absolutely amazing, good weekend for sure. What is up? I'm Yo, Mary, man, I'm sorry. I know you told me how to say it the other day on the phone. I'm not a good pronouncer of names, but yes, what is up? Y'all stay tuned.
Oh yeah, Yomari.
Yeah, Yomari. Yes, there it
she's
is.
hot and she's fast. She's a new upcoming. Watch her in SFL. She's around.
I got her coming on the podcast, so you guys stay tuned.
Very cool. Yes, good girl. I've met her a few times. Good people.
Yeah, I talked to her. I had a phone conversation. Matter of fact, we were texting each other earlier. I need to I know she's laughing at me right now. I'm bad. I'm sorry. But me and her are gonna set up a video chat. But anyway, listen, Rick, first thing I want to do is just say thanks to everybody that watches and likes and subscribes to this podcast. If you had not yet, hit that bell. I don't like saying, the whole whatever, just hit that bell, please. I appreciate it. Big shout out to Next Level Financial, BisonTrack.com, Chef Eats, TST Industries, the Clothing Kings.co.uk, Superbike Supply, SFL Mini GP, and my boy Juju. Big shout out to RD Racing, Jake Marsh, Vet2 Track, Flying Eyes Optics, 64 Degree Racing, Ghetto Customs, Carnes Performance, KYT Helmets, K-Tech Suspension, RTR, Ready to Race in North Carolina, Coleman Power Sports here in Virginia, McLeod, Escapes Track and Tour, Road Racing World. I need everybody to go to Road Racing World, donate to the air fence. It's imperative that we have them on our tracks. If we don't, we're not showing up. We're not having fun.
For those.
Dude, I don't care if it's $1, $5, $50, whatever. It helps. Thank you guys so much. STG, Brian Van and Max Van, Drippin' Wet Graphics, REB Graphics, and GRG Graphics, Venom Understores, V121pro.com for all my mates out there in the UK. Can get proper coaching by Mike the Spike Edwards, which is an absolute legend. You can also go to his website, Mike Edwards.net. Big shout out to BTR, Build Train Race program here in Moto America with Royal Enfield. It's one of the best programs that we have going on. It's absolutely amazing. Can't wait to hang out with everybody at VIR. Big shout out to Aunt Lee Terry and Racer 411 program at TippinRacing.com, Hyper Naked Suits, California Superbike Schools, UK, Moto Mutt, Industrial, Cole King Performance, SCMRC out there in Texas, Turn 12, Obsession Engineering, and last but not least, BTI Photos. Yeah, so listen, Rick, tell everybody where they can find you on social medias. Give all your shout outs. You do you, boo-boo. This is you.
Just want to, first off, from where we're at now, I give Michael Correa props, huge props, and everybody come to the next race, 15th, 16th at T4. Hopefully my daughter's going to be there racing with me, and Julie's always looks good on the track, and she doesn't come that often. And my good friends, L2G, Trackworks, got other people, RSR Motorsports, that helped me in the past. They've helped me with some things here and there. And I've got some people, that I pit crewed for, and they know who they are, and just love you all. And it's a pleasure being on the show. Go eat your dinner with your kids and your wife, and pod racing out. You guys have a great weekend. I'll be mountain biking all weekend up here in Tennessee. If you guys want to come and hang out with me, I'll be at Enterprise, Harrison Bay, Enterprise Trailhead.
Let's go. Right. And on top of that, you can meet me and Rick and everybody else at Daytona International Raceway.
Yes, you guys, I'm coming back for the Daytona 200, and
I love it.
I got my money on Josh Herron. Sorry, people.
Listen, it's all good. I would love to see my boy Posh, man, take a 3.
Posh, he's always a threat. He's always a threat.
3
Josh has always been my favorite, and I'm just sorry about that. And Posh, he's a legend himself, man. That kid,
absolutely.
I've watched him grow up racing. He knows it.
And
those kids, I got the highest respect for those kids. Those guys got so much talent.
And
Danny
Eslick. So Danny's going to be there too. You can't count him out at all. We all remember that. I remember that. I remember seeing the picture on Facebook. I was like, "What?"
He was in jail and didn't make it to the race. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Well,
Hey.
listen, everybody, it's been a proper mega time. It was an absolute honor today to sit with my man, Rick Podless.
Richie
Right.
Pulaski, a famous Polish astronaut.
There you go. He said it. Anyway, enjoy your guys' weekend. Me and Rick will see you guys soon. See ya. All right,
Thank you.
Let me end
Thank
this
you.
real quick. Dude, you're welcome. Thank you, bro. Hang on. Just stay with me once.
Calling all two-wheel enthusiasts, get ready to rev up your earbuds with Pin the Gas Podcast, the ultimate motorcycle racing podcast, hosted by Chris Simcoe, one of our very own excellent leaders here in Roanoke, Virginia. With expert analysis, behind-the-scenes stories, and exclusive writer interviews, Pin the Gas Podcast delivers the adrenaline rush of the racetrack straight to your ears. Whether you're a diehard fan or a curious newcomer, you'll gain insights that will transform how you watch and understand motorcycle racing. On your favorite podcast app, join Simcoe as he takes you on a high-speed journey through the world of motorcycle racing. Pin the Gas Podcast.